flight simmers, welcome back to the channel. This video is going to be an updated ramp start video. I actually wanted to do this video since about 4.35 as I realized from habit by just doing it over and over that I slightly deviated from the checklist. So in order to keep the title of the video accurate, we're going to do an updated ramp start video, and we're going to make sure that we follow the checklist by the numbers, by the procedures. And as well, since we are now at BMS 4.37, there's been quite a few added cockpit features that can help facilitate following an accurate checklist. So this is going to be as real as it gets ramp start from a cold cockpit. So turn this on here. Okay, so we've just got in the cockpit. We're going to assume that we're all strapped in. Our life support system is good. So we're verifying our oxygen is on, and we're going to do a test, as well as our G-suit. We're going to make sure that's connected and it is good to go. So from here, we're going to close our canopy. Make it a little bit more quiet as well. We're going to close our spider and initiate the seals. And then I'm just going to configure my head panel here the way I like it. We're going to turn our air source to norm. Going to turn exterior lights on, making sure that we're on steady. And we're going to turn our fuel to norm. Then we're going to go to battery, and we're going to run a focus test here. Going to make sure relays are tripped, which they are. Going to go to main power, and we're going to go to JFS2. Now, this is one of the most common problems people run into with advancing to idle too soon, initiating a hot start. So you know what, it's really as simple as waiting for your secondary light on your caution panel to turn off, and count to 2 potatoes, you advance to idle, and you'll never have an issue. So what we're going to do is we're going to wait till our RPM gets to 20%. Not sure how well you can see it right now in a dark cockpit. She's now at 20. We verified that our secondary light's off. 1 potato, 2, we're good. We advance our throttle. Now the important thing is to watch our RPM at 35%. We want to verify that the hydraulic oil light turned off, which it did. At this point, we're going to watch our FTIT, and basically you just want to make sure that it follows the same ratio as the RPM. If you're doing that, you know you're going to be good to go. Okay, so everything's on. I'm going to turn our master caution reset. Going to verify our JFS light is off. Going to check our fuel flow, oil pressure, NOS position, RPM. Our FTIT will slow back down about 500, and then we're going to check our hydraulic A and B pressure, make sure those are good, which they are. We're going to come over to our test panel, and we're going to turn our probe heat on. We're going to wait about 5 potatoes. We're going to make sure that we have no flickus faults. We're going to go to probe heat. We're going to look for a light, and we're going to look for a master caution. Let go, master caution resets. We're good. Going to go to engine overheat, verify we have our indicator lights as well, master caution reset. Go to our malfunction indicator lights, and from here we're just going to, going from right to left, we're going to verify that all our lights are working and functional.
Low. Out. Lock.
Looks good.
IFS.
You can wait for all the voice cues to finish, but I normally don't at that point. Going to go to our engine control, and we're going to switch to secondary. We're going to verify that our NOS position closes. RPM is going to go in a G engine to about 65%, and then we verify we got a master caution reset light. Sorry, master caution light on. Sorry. Okay, we're going to have a look and make sure our ground crew is clear. Going to go full toe brakes. We're going to advance the throttle 90%, and then we're going to retard the throttle all the way back. And we're going to watch that it resets back to 65%, and then we're going to switch back to primary mode. Master caution light resets, and everything goes back to normal with our engine gauges. Okay, we're going to do an EPU check now. So we're going to switch our oxygen regulator to 100%, turn our EPU off, and then from this point we're going to tell our ground crew to remove EPU pin, because at this point we'd be on an intercom system. And I usually wait about 5 seconds for them to do that. We want to keep our hands up on the glare shield or up in plain view. Make sure we don't hit any of the controls while they're under there. Once they move back to their safe spot, we are then going to go back to norm, full toe brakes, have one last look, make sure the crew is clear. We're going to advance our throttle 10%, anywhere above 80 is good. And we're going to hit our EPU gen test switch. We're going to press and hold. Verifying with our focus lights, EPU light, and we are in air mode right now, which is good. And then we're going to retard our throttle back. Going to go back to normal on our oxygen regulator. Then we're going to go to our FCC on, SMS, MFDs, our front control. We're not in a hangar, so we're going to go to, or going to be good, sorry, for GPS on. Don't have data link in this block right now. And then we're going to press and turn to align to norm. Going to move up to our sensor power, and because I got nav pods and target pods, going to turn those on, FCR on, and radar altimeter, sorry, to standby. We're going to turn our HUD on. Going to turn our CNI to upfront control. We're going to clear our faults at this point. We're still going to have a flickus fault, that is fine. Okay, and then we're going to start moving our surfaces. Okay, get some of the air bubbles out, get things moving. Full back, forward, left, right, circling to the right a couple times, circling to the left a couple times, and then left rudder, center, right rudder, sorry, center, and then left to right, right to left. Do that a couple times, make sure that's going. I'm going to go to my digital flight control panel. Going to hit a flickus reset. We're going to make sure that our flickus has been reset, which it has, and then we're going to run the bit, and then we're going to go to start turning our threat warning system on. So in the Aspis 2 here, we're going to turn our ECM on. Going to turn our radar warning receiver, our CMDS. Going to turn all that on. Verify that we get a good light here, which we did. We're going to verify we got 3 greens. We're going to run our speed brake. Should be able to see that. At this point, the ground crew would also give a visual confirmation that the speed brakes did open. Then we're going to close them. Going to verify that closes up. Next couple seconds, boom, we're good. We're going to go to our backup attitude indicator here, and we're going to center that, which looks good. Okay, we're going to go to our fuel control, fuel quantity select, sorry. Going to move it to test. We're going to verify we got our fuel, our forward and aft fuel lights on. We're going to verify our needles. They usually go to 2,000, and then 6,000 on the counter. Okay, back to normal. We're going to go to reserves. Reservoir, sorry, both needles are going to go to 500. Okay, and then interior wing, they're going to move up to about 550. Exterior wings, I want to take note exactly where that is going to be sitting. And looks like we're just before 25. Okay, we want to take note of that for when we verify later that our tanks are feeding. Okay, and then exterior center, I don't have an exterior center line, but I like to just make sure both needles set to 0. There's no issue with feeding at that point, and then back to norm. Okay, we're going to verify our EPU is full, which it is, and we're going to turn our aux-com to standby. At this point, I turn my volume knobs for COM 1 and 2 as indicated, or as desired, sorry. I'm going to turn our UHF main head to both, and then we're going to load our data cartridge here. It'll take a couple seconds for that to load. Okay, and what we're going to do here is we are going to set our VHF and UHF channels, make sure everything is good. Our TACAN is set to a different base, so we are going to fix that right now. Oops, wrong one. IFF, I want to turn the audible on. Interrogator, we're going to couple that up, that's good. And we don't really need timing changes. Oops. So we're going, oops. Fix that up. That's good. Verify our bingo set joke is going to be 3,000. That's good. And then from there, we just, for now, actually we'll go to our target pod. If you're doing anything with the target pod, that's when I would do that. So in this case, we'll switch our air to ground to combat mode. Our laser code is good, and I want a laser start time for 12. And we'll go back to our INS. We can monitor that. For item FD, I'm going to set up my SMS, so I'm just going to select my selective jettison to dump those tanks if I need to. Okay, HSD, I like coupling that up with the radar. Also, since I'm flying a Grig Block 50 PX2, I'm going to turn off some features that they currently don't have. I like to make my cockpit as accurate to the real thing as possible. And we're going to stay back and test. Our radar is warmed up, so now we're going to go to CRM mode here. I'm just going to set a couple things. Not that low, that's good. Okay, I verified my antenna elevation knob is working, that's good. I'm going to go to simulate here and go through my systems. So, I'm going to cool down our A9 here, make sure that's all good. Okay, and then set that to Twiz mode. Set my AMRAMs for medium, and that's going to stay on 1. I'm going to run a bit on my AMRAMs. That's good. Okay, air to ground. Going to set up for more profile here, which we're going to drop them in pairs. The spacing of 75 feet. Nice and close. Not worrying about release angle for this profile. And we're going to switch target pod, make sure that is good. We'll check on that later. Okay, now we're going to go to our Flickus here. And what we're going to do is we're going to do a Flickus reset again, clear off the bit pass, and we're going to switch to digital backup. And again, we're going to move all our surfaces, and we're looking for any Flickus errors. At the same time, the ground crew is also verifying that stuff is moving, and everything looks good. Then we're going to switch back to Norman, where I'm now going to switch this to the target pod. Okay, TFR, put that in standby. We're going to set that up for my land test, which will be coming up. Okay, and back to target pod for now. Okay, for trim check, hopefully you can see this. We now indicate to our ground crew that we're going to be doing a trim check, and we're going to tell them we're doing pitch first. So we're going to use the wheels. We're going to go to nose up. They'll verify it is in full up. We're going to go back to center. They'll verify that. Back to nose down. Verify that, and then back to center. We'll tell them we're doing a roll. Same thing. We're going to go left wing down. They verify that. Center, verified. Right wing down, verified. And back to center. We tell them we're doing our yaw. We're going to go to left. They verify. Hope you can see that. We're going center, and we're going right. Back to center. We're then going to switch our autopilot disconnect to disconnect. We're going to let them know that we're now testing that. We move everything around, we move our trim around a couple times. They verify there's no movement. We also look at our needles and we verify there's no movement as well. So we know that's good. Then going to tell them we're doing a manual pitch override again. We're going to press and hold. At the same time, we're going to move all our surfaces around again. We're looking for any errors, making sure everything is good. Ground crew is verifying movement. The signal from them, we know we're good. Going to go to our air refuel door. We're going to open that. Going to have a look at our right indexer indicating ready. I'm going to press our nose wheel steering step button, and then we're going to get the disconnect light, and I'll go back to ready. We know we're good. We'll switch that back to close. Going to tell them we're checking our brakes. We're going to switch to channel 2. Okay, and then we're going to press and hold for 5 seconds, looking for any Flickus errors as well. There's actually ground crew underneath verifying those brakes are working. We get this signal from them that we're good. We're then going to release, and we're going to switch to channel 1, telling them the same. And we're going to press and hold again for 5 seconds, making sure that is good. Signal from them, everything is good. We're going to dig deep in here. We're going to turn our anti-ice on. We're going to advance our throttle 5%. Okay, and we're going to let that run for about a minute, verifying we're watching our FTID and everything. We're going to go to our SMS here. We're now going to do a test on our Kira A-Low. Okay, and what we're going to do is we're going to select 500. We're going to press that. We look at our HUD, verify in the bottom right corner for this block, and we're going to verify that's flashing. Wait till that stops, and we're going to switch radar altitude on. Okay, and we're going to get the same thing. Going to press, and now we're going to test that. At the same time, I'll run a bit on my target pod and my TFR. Make sure those are good. And we'll set this up for our land for 900 feet. That's good. Okay, that's good. We're going to run over to our oxygen panel here. Run over. We're going to reach over. And we're going to hit oxygen quantity test. We're going to press that up. And we're going to let that run its course. And when it's done, that's usually at that time. That's about a minute, and that's when I'll decrease my throttle. Okay, and my anti-ice is good. And we're going to switch that to auto mode since it doesn't look too damp out there. Okay, at this point, we're looking at our INS line. We're a little delayed here because I'm talking through every step, but she's obviously good to go. We are going to switch to INS to nav. Okay, our head kind of squares up. And then we're going to check our nav. High accuracy is good. That never changes, so we know we're good there. Okay, and then we're going to set our clock. Give her a bunch of winds here. And then, looks like we are 707. 703 by the time I get this hand there. 1, 2, 3 right there. We'll sync her up. And 3, 2, 1, 0 hack. That's good. Okay, and then we're going to switch our parking brakes on. We're going to indicate to our ground crew to remove the chocks. They're also going to unplug, so now we're on visual cues at this point. Give them a couple seconds for that. Everything looks good. Okay, noticeable steering is on, and landing lights taxi. Okay, I'm gonna jump on ATIS here. Get my 1358.
Yuchin, Information Hotel. Runway 28.
Should be about 90.
Expect visual approach.
Possibly 91.
Wind, 194 degrees, 13 knots, gusts 22. Visibility 10 kilometers or more. Sky conditions, clouds, view 5,000 feet. Temperature, plus 24 degrees Celsius. Altimeter, 2990 inches.
Okay, that was wrong.
Yuchin,
290.
Information Hotel. Runway 28. Expect visual approach.
Okay, so we are good to go. We're looking at the rest of our flight, sorry. We see their taxi lights are on. We know they're good. We're now going to call tower. What's the call sign? Hammer 7. So ground Hammer 7-1, 2S16s, ready taxi. Did I turn that on? Ground Hammer 7-1, 2S16s, ready taxi.
Good afternoon, Hammer 7. You are number 1 for departure. Taxi Alpha. And hold short runway 28.
Alpha hold 28 for Hammer 7. Okay, so now we're going to press our brakes here. We're going to throttle up 10%. Hold, make sure our brakes are working. And as you release, just give a couple pumps. And we make sure we're good. Okay, so we're taxiing out to the leak check area. Which isn't too far. We're in Yuchin here. Giving us signal to stop. Gauge your brakes, hands up where the crew can see them. And everything there. Okay. While they're doing that, we're going to start our before takeoff checklist. So, going to look at our digital control. Going to make sure all flaps are norm. Our manual TF fly-up is enabled. Our trims are centered. They're good. Engine control is primary with the guard down. Canopy is locked. Verify it is closed. Our air brakes are closed. That is good. And then we're going to go to IFF. Going to set that to norm. Verifying our DAD that is done. And I'm just trying to go in order here. Fuel quantity select. So now this is where we're going to check our exterior wings. And there you go. So they move, so we know that we are in fact feeding. And then we can go ahead and check our interior as well. Sorry, interior wings and our reservoir to make sure that we are in fact taking fuel from the our wing bags first, which they are. We're going to go back to norm. That is good. Verify we are in Cat 3. Ground jet is as desired. Flare is set up for our land test. That's good. Target pod. At this point, I would turn her on. Make sure she's good here. Just take a couple seconds, set that up where I need it. That's going to be good. Oops, too much. Good. Bang. Okay, and we're going to go ahead and stow that up again. Okay, we know we're good there. Okay. And then we're going to make sure probe heat switch is on. Alright, injection. We're going to arm our seat. Verify the lights off. That's good. And then we're going to check our ALO. Everything's good. Oil pressure, 39. That's good. And then we're going to disengage our noticeable steering. Verify the ground crew is clear. And then we're going to move our surfaces one last time. Make sure everything's free and clear. No air bubbles, etc. No flickus faults. That is good. And then we are basically good to go. So, brakes off. And we're going to throttle up here. That's good.
Hammer 7-1, contact tower for takeoff. Switch to 26950.
26950, Hammer 7. Alright. Did it say Hammer 5? Because my checklist is Hammer 7. My keyboard, sorry. Either way, we're going to go to 3. Hammer 7, push 3. Hammer 7, check. Check. John Tower, Hammer 7-1, ready for departure.
Hammer 7, Yichan Tower, wing 190 at 5 knots, runway 28. You are cleared for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff, 28, Hammer 7. Alright, so position on the runway here. Once we're in position, we're going to disengage our nose wheel lights, and we're going to throttle up. We're going to do our engine checks. We verified, we've given the signal to our wingman to do the same. Once we're ready, we're going to go landing lights on, and then we're on our way. F-tip looks good, throttle pressure looks good, burner's on. Verifying our gauges again. Hydraulic exit oil pressure is good. And I'm going to start rotating here. And watching our VVI, we got positive climb, we're good. Gear up, landing lights off. Everybody's around here, see a little better. Okay, so there you have it. So that's pretty much ramp from takeoff. We'll check back with you there when we land, and we'll show you the shutdown procedures.
Hammer 7-1, contact departure.
7-1, gear down and lock full stop.
Hammer 7-1, Yichan Tower, wing 190 at 3 knots. Runway 28, cleared for landing. Check gear down.
Clear to land, Hammer 7-1. Close trees here. Brakes here. If we're slowing down, we're going to turn our probe heat off. Turn off our ACM. Go to standby. Close our speed brakes. So we exit the runway here. Safe our seat and lights taxi.
Hammer 7-1, contact loop, switch to 3450.
Hammer 7 push gun. I'm going to open up our spider. And we'll reset that. And bring back to the leak check area here.
Hammer 7-3, on final.
Hammer 7-3, Yichan Tower, continue inbound for runway 28.
Turn that down. Then we park, set a park brake, get our hands up, clear those off. Ground crew will do the pins. And from here, stand by our radar.
Hammer 7-4, final approach.
TFR, make sure our target pod is still.
Hammer 7-4, Yichan Tower, continue inbound for runway 28.
Lock out our battery. That's good. Ground Hammer 7-1, clear active, quest taxi back.
Hammer 7-3, Yichan Tower, wing 190 at 6 knots. Runway 28, cleared for landing. Check gear down.
Not sure if she heard me. Try it again. Ground Hammer 7-1, clear active, quest taxi back.
Hammer 7-4, Yichan Tower, wing 190
Oh, I didn't go
6
around.
knots. Runway 28, cleared for landing.
Ground Hammer 7-1, clear active, quest taxi back. That was 0. That's a 1.
Hammer 7-1, taxi back to the ramp. Delta, Papa 04.
Delta Papa 04, Hammer 7-1. Alright, so I think this was 3, and this is going to be 4 right here. Find out. People start yelling at me. And we're coming in our spot here. And right on the dot. Brakes, parking brakes on, line of lights off. Most of us start to disengage. Hands up. At this point, the sorry. Off. There we go. Ground crew, give them a signal. They will put their pin back in and put the chocks on the wheels. Once we get the signal from them, we're good. We're gonna go CNI to backup. Okay, so we're kind of doing everything in reverse here. So INS to off. Turn off our avionics. Anti-ice off. Turn our sensor powers off. And basically I'm scanning the cockpit, resetting everything for the next start. It also helps for cockpit builders to have all our switches synced up. But it only takes a couple seconds and then you're set up for success the next time you fly. Okay. Oh, you know what, I forgot a step. When we land, we want to put our M4 code to hold, which is already there. Then we're going to go back to standby from this point. Our switcher to master off. Air source off. Engine feed off. I reset my EPU back to norm. Cut my throttle. And from there, turn off my exterior lights. Open up the canopy. And from that point, we're just waiting for our engine gauges to get to below 20%. That's when I'll turn the main power off. So anyways, that's it. That is by the checklist, as real as it gets. If you have any comments or anything, feel free to comment, challenge, hate me, whichever. Anyways, we'll catch you on the next video. Camera off.